What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to today's video. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for actually quite some time, and it's come to my attention after noticing things more, being able to really wanting to put myself out there, my opinion out there, not just because I can, but because I know it's something that's right to do. Also, side note, I apologize for my look today. My allergies are absolutely horrible, so I'm going to try to get through this video in one piece and not several pieces. But this video, we are going to be discussing about racism in video games. Now, this is going to be somewhat of a taboo topic to talk about because nobody wants to get their hands dirty and really talk about the things that are really important. So one thing I really noticed with a lot of video games, not just recently, but in the past, is that there's really no diversity. Not just when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community, but when it comes to people of color. Resident Evil 1 Remake actually is a very strong example of that. You don't really have any leading roles or NPCs or actually playable characters for all intents and purposes that are people of color. When you go into the mansion and you have everybody standing there, all white people. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. The companies that I am mentioning are not racist. They're not. They may have racist tendencies, but they are not racist. I want to make that very, very, very clear. There's always a choice to educate yourself. There is always a choice to make gaming a better place for everybody, not just one group, but every group. So I just want to make that very clear. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that any game company in particular is racist. These are just things that I've noticed over a period of time of me playing video games for as long as I have. So let's go to the main reason why I'm actually making this video, The Last of Us Part 2. So in The Last of Us Part 2, being that I do not have a PS4, I could not play the game. So I saw an intensive walkthrough done by Jacksepticeye. The thing is with The Last of Us Part 2, it's brilliant in the way that it's done. The graphics, the way that just everything is done, from the storytelling to the motion capture, just everything is so cohesively well built and well scripted and well done. Really, really and truly well done. And it goes there. It really emotionally just drags you through hell and back, and it makes this point that you have to go through what the characters are going through, and I've never seen a video game take you through so much hell as this one, pretty much. But when it comes to race and when it comes to inclusiveness, they're getting there, but it's not quite there yet. Last of Us Part 2, I saw that they were inclusive with the LGBTQ plus community. I saw that they were inclusive with more masculine women, which that's a thing. I mean, I wish more games had more masculine women because it's absolutely stunning. And they were inclusive with people who were Asians, which a lot of video games aren't for some reason, and I don't know why. They are inclusive when it comes to LGBTQ plus community, when it comes to Asian people, when it comes to people, actually in particular females who are more masculine, and when it comes to people who are Jewish, because Dina is Jewish. Don't know if you knew that, but she is. And I'm really happy to see that in a video game, because you don't see that much either. But when I look at the characters, especially the main playable ones, who are in the video game, all white. And I get that because it translated from the previous game. But in the first game, you saw this diversity. You saw people of color. You saw everyone who was in this mixture. You saw Ellie coming into her own and finding out, oh, well, shit, I'm actually gay. You saw that. You saw that in her character. And you saw the entire growth of just all the characters really coming to life. And that's why the first game is so brilliant. Not to say that this wasn't, but it missed the mark. And it didn't just miss the mark with not adding more people of color, because there is one person of color in the video game, but it's a passive character. Now, to call this a video review of the video game would actually be an insult to the game itself, considering the fact that I didn't play it, so I can't review it. But what I am reviewing are the things that I've noticed within the game that I don't think people are discussing. And it's not just this game, it's so many other games where you have lack of representation of people of color, you have lack of representation for the LGBTQ plus community. You have a lack of representation in so many groups, which leads me to my next point. So a video game is a vast environment in which you can escape to, you can review, you can do so many things, but there's a multitude of things of why people play video games, why people enjoy them. The main thing that I thought about and have an issue with as far as why there is such a lack of representation is because somebody creates this world. This isn't just something that comes out of nowhere, it is created. When I see different video games being brought to life, you see writers, you see developers, you see So many people have this job, basically, to create a universe that has never been created before. Whether that be an action game, a horror game, whatever it is, they have the very daunting task of creating this universe. Now, what I'm curious about, and something that I've thought about many times, not just recently, but even passively playing video games, is that developers create these worlds, right? They create vast environments which are beautiful, chaotic, tumultuous. They create these magnificent worlds in which you yourself can insert yourself and be the character that you've always wanted to be. What I'm wondering is, why are developers creating worlds in which it's not inclusive? If a developer is putting their idea of their perfect world out into a video game, why does it not include everybody? Why does it not include Latinos? Why does it not include, Jews? Why does it not include people of color? Why does it not include, Buddhists? Even the worst parts of humanity. We actually do see a lot of that in Red Dead Redemption, where there's actually a mission you can unlock to stop the KKK. Like, it's really interesting the way some of the missions were actually done. There's cannibals in the video game. There's different side missions. It's really interesting, actually. So there's a lot of diversity that you can put into a video game. Now, with a set story like The Last of Us, for example, where they had a plot line that was already set in stone and they were continuing it, that's fine. But to not include different people of color just because it's a different game and certain people of color were killed off basically in the first game, that doesn't sit right with me to an extent. And I'm already going to predict some of the comments that are going to be down there. If they're not, that's going to be great. But I don't want you guys coming at me for just having an opinion. Remember, this is an opinion piece. It's not something of where I'm telling you, you have to believe in this because it's me. No, I'm stating an opinion from my mind that I believe. But this video, it's meant as a discussion. It's meant to get the cogs in your guys' head turning a little bit, to make you guys understand and kind of wake up to see what's going on around you. Whether you want to have the same opinion as me, that's completely fine. But for all intents and purposes, this is an opinion piece. This is something that I've been thinking about for quite some time. I've had discussions with friends on even about this. So yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. And hopefully have you guys understand too that the gaming world, while it is very vast and while it is growing and while there is inclusion starting to come about, it still has a very long way to go. I mean, I think it says a lot when I was thoroughly impressed at how much inclusion there was in Fallout 3. Like, that was the most people of color I've actually ever seen. I hate the game Fallout 3. I absolutely hate it. But their inclusion of people of color is absolutely brilliant. I loved it. But like I said, I see inclusion happening. I see things that are being worked on. I see gaming companies being better at including people of different races, different identities, all that kind of thing. So just as a lasting note to reiterate my point from before, a gaming company is creating a world. That world is something of their imagination. It's something of a society in which they envisioned. So when you're envisioning a society, just be inclusive. Be inclusive of all genders, races, all types of people. Whether that be people who look like a Barbie doll to the people who have vitiligo. And the thing is that, I know my privilege as a white woman. I see it. And that's why I want to be able to use my voice to be able to, have a discussion, have a really intellectual discussion with you guys, and hopefully get your opinions down in the comments below of what you guys think as well. Because at the end of the day, this is an opinion piece. This is my mind spewing and turning cogs and putting it out and, explaining things to the best of my ability to you guys. That way we can have an informed and coherent discussion about the topics that really do matter in the gaming community. And no, the loot boxes don't matter, okay? I don't want to talk about the loot boxes ever again. Oh my god, there have been so many people been asking me about loot boxes for Overwatch. I'm like, no, please stop with the loot boxes. Even though I get them and I respect why they're doing loot boxes, just enough. I hear too much about loot boxes. Just stop. But you guys, I'll leave you off with this thought right now to reiterate a point that I made earlier. When creating a video game, create the world that is around you. And by no means am I telling you what to create, because that's just idiotic. Think about the things that are in your world already and take inspiration from diversity. But yeah, if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and double uploads on Friday. But stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will see you all in Friday's video. Peace.